Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Jane Itma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 49.
Yep.
We're almost in our 50s.
Excellent.
Excellent. It is. I'll have to excuse my voice. I've got a little bit of a cold going on, and by little I mean a lot. Yes, my house is under plague, and my husband's coughing all night, and I see that in my future. So, yeah, luckily you guys can't catch it. Poor Amy has
trying desperately not to catch it.
Has braved it. Luckily, I don't. I'm an adult. I can cough in the other direction, and I promise not to put things of yours in my mouth. Like, oh, knitting needle. Good. Amy's like, you're a true friend, Megan. Thank you so much for not putting my things in your mouth.
We had a little bit of a Grover moment. We were like, near, far. Like the camera seemed too far away, and then it seemed too close. So
yes.
Hopefully this is a good middle.
You'd think we'd have this down after a year, but
yeah, still a process.
Yeah, my voice sounds really horrible to me when it comes out, and so I'm sorry if it is grating to anybody else. There's certain podcasts now that I have a hard time watching because it's kind of, there's like an echo, and because I listen to them, any sort of audio, discrepancy really jumps up at me. So,
did you listen to the Knit Girls this week?
That may have been who I was listening to. Yes.
Neelix got me.
Yeah.
Man, I about jumped out of my seat.
Yeah.
That dog was loud.
Yes.
But
I don't listen to it. Generally, it's I have my computer. It's on my computer at work, and so it's not in my ears. It's more of a, if you were listening to it in headphones, I'd be like,
it was headphones, and I was,
I felt like telling Leslie that if she needed me to knit that Even Star, she would have to fly me out to Rhinebeck, and I would finish it up for her.
That's a good plan.
I thought it was a genius idea.
That's a really good plan. Yeah. So near and far, that's all I had to mention.
Near and far.
I'm trying not to get sick, sitting next to Sicko here.
Yep, I stayed home from work and did not talk all day. I watched a rather, it wasn't like a official marathon, but it was, they showed a lot of Flipping Out, and I haven't watched Flipping Out in a while. So that was kind of fun. Anything where they're showing a bunch of consecutive episodes is kind of like, is good. I am sitting at home and not feeling well fodder, I guess, to me. So we've got a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of stuff to talk about. I don't know if you can see all these bags down here, but then we've also got announcements enough that I felt like I needed to iterate them on a sheet of paper. So
okay, let's get going.
All right. Our birthday kits have been received by many, but not all. Yay! Woo-hoo. So we can share our secrets with folks now. The folks that receive them should understand what's going on with all of that. If you, for some reason, did not receive the little handout, the little birthday card that was in it, that was the last thing to go into the box. And weight-wise, you probably couldn't tell from, having packaged it up. And then, we were doing it late into the night, so some of them just didn't. And luckily, we can get that to you digitally. I'm sorry that you can't have the actual physical piece of paper. But it's got important information on it. So if you looked at it but didn't read it, it tells you what the raffle tickets that were in your birthday kit were for. And that's all we're going to say about that right now.
Yep.
Next week we're going to do our FOs of the birthday patterns. And we have a promotion going out to the waitlisters, which will end next Monday, which makes the pattern cheaper, and they can get it before it's open to the public. So, and it will be open to the public next, or is it 2 weeks? 2 weeks from next Monday, the 22nd. What else? The retreat is like so close. Talk about near far. I was like, woohoo! We're going to be in Stillwater before we know it.
Yeah.
And Java Jenny has gotten Miss Jeanette of Sun Valley Fibers to come. And she's going to bring a trunk show in that it's going to be as much as she can shove into the trunk of her vehicle.
That's right.
And yeah, I love Sun Valley Fibers. I love their colorways. I love their vases. I just don't have any in my stash, and I find that to be a glaring discrepancy in
totally
in my stash. So I'm excited about that. If you haven't heard, we're doing a retreat in Stillwater on the 27th. And if you're in the Twin Cities and you don't want to stay at the hotel but you want to meet up with us, go state your intentions. Somebody has set up an event out on Ravelry.
Yep.
We've linked it to our forums. What else? I think, so exciting. This was partly my brainchild, but our birthday giveaway thread. You can get, I put it out there today, but I wanted to call attention to it. You can get one entry for many, many wonderful things. We've got our Addies, we've got 2 hoe bags, we've got 2
t-shirts,
t-shirts, a sock kit. So
a birthday kit,
yeah. If you're seeing people receive theirs in the spoiler thread and we're like, oh, I didn't get one because life got in the way, here's an opportunity to win one. We're going to do a separate drawing on the 30th for that. But yeah, one entry if you wear a silly hat. And I had somebody, Girl Cave Bags, Rista1313 was like, what constitutes a party hat? And I was like, any silly hat, really. Could be like what are those old-fashioned, like the bowler hats? It could be like what we wore on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
It could be a tiara. It could be crown. Any party hat. Take a picture of yourself, post it in the thread, one entry. If you have the pattern, one of our patterns, either the sock pattern or the toy pattern, and I said that backwards, toy pattern or sock pattern, as I was doing the head motions. They need to correspond.
Okay.
And you have a project out there, a project page, that constitutes an entry. And last but certainly not least, if you could sing just a few lines of happy birthday in a video and post it to the thread, you can post the video in one entry, and then you can get 4 more entries by singing happy birthday to us. And I think it's just fun. I want somebody to sing happy birthday, because we'll sing happy birthday. Because it's not just us, right? It's a year of you guys putting up with us, or, putting up with us, but joining in, and our community has grown a great deal, and I'm not going to wax nostalgic quite yet, because we'll save that for the official birthday podcast. But yeah, it's been a fun year, so we want everybody to celebrate and be part of the birthday celebrations. And now I feel like I've talked a whole bunch.
You have.
Okay.
Is there something next on the list that
there is not. That is
she did it all.
I
will talk about my 2 FOs.
Woo woo! We got 2 sweaters this episode, BTW. So
yeah. So I finished my socks. I only had a little bit left, but there's
it with the toe, right?
Yeah. I had to fix the toe right, so there they are, finished in their complete manly size. So done. And this one. Is this the? Oh, did I miss the shrink one here? Oh, it's probably just one I hadn't cut, because I know I tucked them all in. Anyway,
I won't snip it for you.
No, please don't. I gotta double check that I woven it in before I cut it. So this is in Rowan 42, and so Rowan Magazine 42, and it's the Icelandic or Iceland sweater. So the things that I did is that if I were to knit to what it suggested for me to wear, the top part would be all the way down to my hips, and then from my hips covering my butt would be this ribbing here, but I saw a lot of mods where people made the smaller size down and just kind of shortened the arms up, and so that's what I did. So I just kind of winged it more or less on where I wanted it to sit for construction, because it was an enormous, huge garment otherwise. And I did buy enough to make what the pattern called for when I bought the book, so I have a lot of extra yarn. I was thinking some people picked up and did a large cowl on top. That could be an option. Or I could rig something up so that I could have a removable cowl.
Oh, I was going to say, that was exactly what I was just thinking. I was like, you could knit a cowl and just wear it around your neck sometimes, and then take it off. I mean, it wouldn't have to be attached at all, right?
Yeah. So that may or may not happen.
It would be like the reverse of a dickie. Like turtleneck that can be removed. I guess that would be the same thing as a dickie, right?
Yeah. But dickies are just like right here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
They don't go all the way around. Anyway, a removable cowl. And I don't know. So far, I mean, this is the first night that I've worn it. I will say it's impossible to put a coat on.
Because of your bat wings?
Yes, with the bat wing sleeves and this bulk. Like, I've worn bat wing sleeves of really thin material, and you can wear a coat with those. But this is just way too much.
Domain? Domain? Is that what that's called? The domain sleeve?
Could be.
Okay.
I know a lot of people call them bat wing sleeves.
I'm uber trendy. I am so much trendier than Amy.
So, sure you are.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I have all this bulk in this sleeve, but it's very warm because
I was gonna say, I would think that would be very warm.
It's a 50% mohair, 50% merino. I think Rowan Cocoon is the yarn. It's very nice. But that is it for my FOs. I have a lot to talk about in enabling, and I have worked on lots of patterns in the meantime, so I have some good whips. I'm just trying to give her some more time to rest her throat.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm back in. So I finished my dragonflies.
That looks so tiny.
It does but this stretches so much. I mean, I've noticed in my FO photos that I had my husband take a picture of. Sweet. That it's harder to see like the dragonflyness when it is stretched to my form. Like it's a lot more obvious when it's uncinched. But added the sleeves and they're a little long. I won't be stretching them lengthwise. But this was the Dragonflies Jumper by Joji Locatelli. I was doing it as part of the 12 sweaters in 2012. Again, she yawns while I'm talking. I really like the turtleneck portion. I know you were like, are you fond of that? And I was like, and now when I look at it, I'm like, it just makes it unique in my mind. If it were just like a normal, like, ribbing collar, it would be like, but it makes it unique. And it's out of Madeline Tosh Twist in DK in the tarnished colorway.
Love that colorway.
I do too. And I did the cheater color switching. Did it on the arms, and I'm very happy with it. I can't really tell which one is which. I can't remember. I think it was my Dark and Stormy. I can really tell when I look at it that like part of the arm, you can see literally where the striping was where I did the alternating skeins, and then one side is darker than the other. These were a better match skeins. I don't know. What do you prefer, having it in your midsection or on your arms, right? I mean, no matter what I did, I was going to end up somewhere. There's going to be a line, either it would look like striping throughout.
I think that like color blocking on your arms kind of seems kind of neat.
Yeah. It kind of looks like I'm wearing different colored sleeves or something. And so that is my finished object. It will get worn a great deal. I don't know that my abalone is going to get a great deal of wornness. I just can't get past like it's down below my bottom and then it cups. I might have to try to reblock it
Yeah.
It just doesn't, I don't want to wear it, right? Because
Right.
it seems goofy and I'm constantly trying to make it not do what it wants to do. I'm fighting the garment.
My daughter constantly fights her pants. She's pulling them up constantly, and I'm
Yeah.
like, and it doesn't matter the brand or anything. She's just, that's her constant mode. It's like, I'm gonna fix these. And
Yep.
Yeah.
And one of the skeins of yarn in my enabling is going for the abalone finished object. And we'll draw for that, not the 30th, because you'll actually have the 31st to finish up. We'll do it then next, so it would be like the 6th, if my math is correct. So you've still got lots of time. There's some people that have finished them in just a couple of days. So no sleeves. Sleeves take a while. And
It's not me, obviously, but I had, finish all the things, right? So I was like, finish the socks, finish the sweater. And I've also been working on finishing some yarn. And I am finally plying my Cloud Lover. Finally. It's going to be lace weight.
Even applied?
Yeah, even applied. I have no idea what I was thinking. I mean, that's what it wanted to be, but ooh. And it's kind of loosely plied too. It's not plying very tightly. And so I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this yarn. Oh well. I'm sure everybody will have their say once I get it all skeined up and show it to you. But yeah, it's a no-go on that. So I guess I can talk whips. I got my abalone is going. And then this is Rios in the Compista colorway, whatever, Compita, I don't know. And then I have a pair of stripy socks for the Sock the Boat and Diane of Knittables. I don't know if I'm going to get them done by the end of October. And they're just child socks, so maybe one will fly off the needles and the other one will too. But so far that's, you can see the afterthought heel is
already,
in here.
yeah.
Well, I was up to here for the Sock the Boat week 1, up to where you put in the waist yarn, and then I lost the socks for 3 days. Didn't know where they were. So I didn't get to turn in the picture on Monday for the Sock the Vote week 1. I asked Melissa, and she said, as long as you had them done at the time, and I did. I had them done ahead of time, and I set them down because I knew that I wanted to stay with everybody, and lost them. So I think that the staying with and putting down business is over with. If I know where they are and I'm working on them, I'm going to keep working on them. Because they're good bust knitting, and I don't want to switch back and forth between my other projects for bust knitting.
It's a very strategic holding of that sock.
Yes, it is.
Sorry, I shouldn't make myself laugh.
I am purposely not showing you the front of it because it is Megan's pattern from our zombie birthday kit. So you cannot see what the other side looks like, but it works well with stripy yarn.
Yes.
And let's see.
Works in progress.
Oh yeah. I had actually put a lot more rows on my dinner at the Eiffel Tower, which I hadn't touched in months and months. So I wanted to bring that out. And I apologize, I don't remember the designer's name, but she was new, a new designer, and I was supposed to be test knitting it, and I apologize, but it has already been released, and it is Dinner at the Eiffel Tower.
What are you thinking of the yarn?
It's Dream in Color Baby, so, I mean, I've knit with it before. I enjoy it. It's going to probably wash up pretty nicely. I only have one other item with it, and I don't know. I did a clapetee in it with it, but yeah, I just wanted to. So I'm getting ready to do this lace piece again at the bottom, and then I think since I have enough yarn, I'm just gonna slowly work on this until it's huge. So I'm gonna put in probably 2 more repeats of this pretty lace pattern, in it with the big
How much yardage do you have?
I think it's 9. No. How much is in these things? Dream in Color Baby.
Over 400.
Well, yes, well over 400. But I can't remember where it cuts off.
Over 8. If it's over 800.
Yeah, if it's around 800. But as you can see, I've barely put a dent in the middle of this thing. And I know that I can get through the pattern and then have like half the ball left. So I'm going to do one more repeat. And hopefully I'll have enough for that, but if not, I'm sure that something will make a beautiful border on this because it looks like it'll accept, another color as the border. So, yep, I'm gonna keep working on this until it's enormous. Because, when I first started, I was like, well, maybe I'll just make a kerchief and have extra yarn, no problem, or whatever.
Like inside scarf.
Yeah, chalette scarf thing. But now I'm getting close to where it's getting to be where like, oh, I only have like that much more to go. And I think I'd rather just have it be really big. So that's the plan anyway. And I like it. And that has been good to me. I started a handspun weeb. I left him at home. Whoops. His body's done. He needs arms. So he's a naked, armless weeb. But he's sitting at home waiting for me to finish him, and he's a significant size because it was a little bit bigger weight than I made the samples out of. Oh, that's a weeb. My goodness.
I started my fatty weeb.
That is a fatty weeb.
Out of Cascade 220, held double on US 10s, 6.0 millimeter. It didn't scale real well. So if I had stopped where you were going to have me start decreasing for his neck, it was going to be like bowl shaped. Like it would be way too wide and not enough. So the row gauge must be a lot different than, it must not grow as much as the stitch gauge.
Yeah, I mean, I did notice that, but I kind of fudged my pattern because I needed yardage. So like there's supposed to be, there's a point where you're decreasing like every 5 rounds. And I only decreased every 2 rounds in that section, and it did end up being bowl-like. But again, yardage. I mean, I only had so much hand spun, and I didn't want to run out.
Yep. So I just have continued knitting straight for many more rows, right?
Making it taller.
Making it taller, just because it looked wrong to me. I'm like, it's not gonna even look like a body. It's just gonna look like a bowl. But in the grand tradition of me putting your knitted works on my head. This is a weeb butt hat. A weeb butt head.
Butt head.
Yeah, it's going. I tried it with 9s, and the fabric was so dense that it was like hard to work with. I was like,
okay.
So the 10s, I mean, it's not as as bulletproof, but at least it will be.
Yeah.
So yep, he's gonna get a neck here pretty soon because I think he's tall enough.
Well, again, like you're gonna have probably 20 more rows of neck.
Yeah.
So.
And I think I'm gonna decrease less shallow, so I'll spread those out even. But I've got.
I'm gonna have a really tall weeb.
I'm thinking instead of making a little pouch, I'm just going to put the whole thing, the whole package of stuff in the bottom. Like, not even take it out of the plastic, just go. And then his little sweater is going to be out of 716 Knit Boss. I made a Penelope out of this. And I'll probably end up holding this double too. And just staying on the same needle size because I think the pattern, I'm not revealing anything about your pattern by saying that you have to go down in needle size for the sweater, right? Is that right? No, you go up. Larger size needles. You
go up, but then you decrease at the neck.
Okay.
Again. So again, I mean, I've had questions about this because people are like, but I'm supposed to go down for the sweater. And it's like, well, I decided to change the shape of the sweater by changing needle sizes because the shape of him isn't very drastic, so it just needs to be a little bit of change so that it fits better.
Yep.
But that's, because the first one was knit just very blocky and it fit fine, but the very next one I knit really needed to be changed in size. But
so yes, he's going to be a very rotund weeb.
Yes, thanks to everybody who's bought one pattern and is out there completing their weebs. I am thoroughly enjoying watching the weebs pop up, and created myself a little tag feature so that I can just see the ones tagged for the KAL. And 'cause
you don't want to see mine in there. I've got a little bookmark that has both of our patterns, that the recent finished objects, but you just want to see the weebs, right?
Oh yeah, I guess I could go look at yours too. But yeah, it's the weebs, and then people that have been on the wait list and grabbed the other patterns. I haven't really heard what anybody's thought of those yet. I mean, I've seen, I forget how many, but half a dozen people have bought that weren't part of the kit, and I was just curious what they thought of the patterns because they did buy them sight unseen. And thank you.
Yeah, likewise. I've appreciated the people have commented out on the pattern page. It's a really cool pattern and whatever. So
I've gotten too many of those. At least one, but.
Wah, wah, sad panda. Maybe I haven't gotten all that many either. I'm just happy with the few that I've gotten.
Okay. I am happy.
People aren't going weeb crazy on me. I'm not having it along, so maybe they just feel sorry for me. But there is a birthday kit up for grabs for the weeb along too. So.
Yep, the weeb will culminate in a giveaway of the weeb. Or of the zombie birthday toy kit.
Which my daughter was very confused about. She was helping me package some of them up, and she was like, "There's a toy in here?" Because she asked me why I had marked T on the top, and I was like, "It stands for toy." And she's like, "There's a toy in here?" And I'm like, "No, you kind of have to make it yourself."
Yeah. Make it yourself toy.
Yes. What else? Oh, I'm still going to talk about my works in progress.
Yeah.
Other than my weeb. This is my Sock the Boat sock that has been cast on 3 times now.
Oh, that's right, you're designing, I forgot.
Well, fortunately, I grabbed pictures and it worked, and you want to see it?
Gimme. Yes, I saw pictures online and I was like, I haven't seen it in person yet either.
So I started out with Aquaphobia. You guys saw me rip it out down to the toe last week, and then I got up past the cuff taking pictures, or up to the past the gusset, and it was too tight. It just didn't, the stitches didn't look nice because it was so tight. So I kind of went on an in-between size because this yarn is obviously knitting up a little tighter gauge on my ones than normal. And then I changed the pattern up because the first time I did it, sorry to take it away from you, it is really soft.
Yes, it is.
I just did this motif just straight, and then once I got to the gusset, I started increasing in the middle and instead of on the outsides, and it made this really cool V. Well, I just started the V earlier after I recast on for the third time. Third time's a charm. And so then once you got to the gusset, I increased in the middle and on the outside because it was getting really bunchy right here.
Future pattern alert.
I don't know if I'm going to write this one up or not, but it's right now I'm having a hard time just keeping track of what I've done for
one sock, so you
for
the other one.
Yeah, and then after you get past the heel, I did a short row and then a gusset back and forth with these extra stitches. I increased the motif to meet around back.
Magic. It's all just magic. Hand waving and magic.
Well, I'm not gonna. What do you mean?
I just I am putting my place in the viewer spot, and I'm like, I can see all the detail up close. They're not probably going to see a whole lot of the detail you're talking about, but
V's.
lots of hand waving and magic.
V's, and then it meets up in the back here. I'll post pictures, and they'll go look at it, and they'll say, oh, yeah. Because, I mean, even if we were all up in your business, like really close, like Amy Beth, to the camera, not like a back set like this, I don't know that you could see all the detail that I'm talking about right now. But, woohoo! I haven't done the cuff yet because I was kind of trying to stay with, so I'm greater than 8'8", size 8'8", like 8 or above, I believe, so I'm an 8. And I think you're supposed to stop before you get to the cuff this week for Sock the Vote. Anybody out there, feel free to. I know that our Venn diagrams intersect, so if you're in Sock the Vote and what?
I apologize. I'm having like a migraine thing.
Okay. I was like, sorry.
No. It's fine.
It's my voice. It's my Harvey Weinstein voice.
It's causing me a headache.
But yeah, I don't know if we're supposed to. I think you're supposed to stop before you get to the cuff. So I stopped. And those are the two things I currently have on the needles. And then next I'm going to be casting on my Adiz or Adez or Idez. And it will be with Berlini Quello, probably held double. Ooh. And this is called Spruce. And I have no idea why. It's very blue. It's not green at all.
I've seen a lot of spruce.
Blue spruce?
Yeah, blue spruce. Yeah.
But this is bulk yarn. You buy like a huge bag of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got to be an even number.
I see this pilling a lot.
Yep. It's kind of got a single ply-ness to it.
It is, yeah.
But it's wool and polyamide. So wool and nylon, basically, right? And the polyamide nylon.
Synthetic.
Acrylic, something. And I've had luck. I did my Rocky Coast cardigan out of Berlini. I can't remember. It was fingering, and I held that double to get a worsted. So this held double, I think, will be pretty close to a bulky. Seems kind of thin for, I think it's an Aran weight is what it says on the...
Oh. Yeah, that does seem thin for an Aran weight. But
US 7 to 8.
Maybe
18.
the fuzziness of it makes it the Aran weight.
Don't know. Or maybe it plumps up quite a bit when washed.
Could be the plumpy.
So this held double to make that cabley goodness that is the Adiz. So there's, 10 balls for...
Held double? You're going to have enough for an Adiz?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I think so.
Well, it just surprises me
152 yards.
Yeah.
And 152 yards times 10.
Yeah.
Divided by 2. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll have to hold it single and just go down a size. I like the held double though because it really makes the cables pop. Like if you have a dense fabric, it really makes the cables pop. But so that'd be 300, 600. Yeah. This is all very exciting. 750. I wonder if I can do an Adez in 750. I haven't printed out the pattern yet.
Yeah, and bulky, I guess. 750 bulky sleeves. I know I wouldn't be able to, but you're a size smaller than me, so.
It's not real important to me that they meet in the middle and the front.
Okay.
That's kind of how I cheat. That's how I roll. And I think I'm going to do it all in one piece rather than piecing it together. That way it's really obvious from the get-go that it's either too big or too small around.
Yeah.
Because when you piece it, it's like, oh yeah, this looks like if I add, But I guess you can also adjust on the fly if you're doing it pieced as well. Like do the front panels bigger, smaller, whatnot. All right, enabling.
I got lots. And
I do too.
A little bit felt. So
I went crazy this week.
Okay. So I have Into the World coordinates for the 2 shipments that I've gotten so far. I ordered the 2 coordinates. So this is for the first one, and it is the BFL Silk And this is just, she numbers these. This is the 25.9. And this is the 12.6. I have never ordered a coordinate from her before, so I mean, I don't know if anybody else out there understands what that is. You know, if maybe it's just from her notes, that's the number that she died, you know, and then she knows that, you know, the thing that she died for us was a 12.6 and a blah point blah, you know, like has to do with color and intensity or something. But if you have a clue on what that means, I'd be curious to find out. So I have both of those. And that was awesome. I got my Cookie A Club shipment. I'm usually one of the last people to actually have it in hand, so and this is getting released tomorrow, so I'm not sure that I'm going to be worried about spoilers. This is the Super Duper Sock Club yarn in the color Sarsaparilla. So this was specially spun for or milled by Green Mountain Spinnery for the Cookie A Club. So it could be very low-cal.
It looks very rustic.
Yes, it is a very rustic yarn. And I could see, like, there's a couple of Brooklyn Tweed collections that have a couple sweaters that would look really good in this. But I bet this is a lot, yeah, this isn't gonna break, to put it nicely.
It's a little more rustic, durable.
Durable, yes. Says that it is 70% fine wool, but so not merino, and then 30% tencel.
That tencel will give it some strength.
Yeah, and it's growing on me. I mean, when I saw the club pattern pictures of her finished socks, I was kind of like, meh, I don't really like that color at all. But in person, I don't know, it's growing on me. It's got some gold tones in it, and it does look like a rustic neutral. And I could see that looking really good in different sock patterns. So it's growing on me, and I like the specialness of it, right? That it was spun just for this, you know, that they made this yarn basically for Cookie A and this club. So I don't know that they'll be selling it to other folks, and this is kind of like you're getting it first kind of deal.
They did that with Soulmate last year, right?
Yeah, I did hear from somebody else that we weren't the first club to get the debut, though. Like, I think somebody else had gotten Soulmate before Cookie A's club. Like a different club. Maybe a smaller one. And then, because it was a different color. I was like, oh, there's all these blues out here already. And then there's the purple that we got.
Boysenberry.
Yeah, boysenberry. So anyway, this is Sarsaparilla. And there's a Sarsaparilla is the name of one of the socks that go with it. And what was the other one? The other one was a really geeky name. I thought it was really fun. I'll have to go back and read the notes again, but I think that I want to make the really geeky one. Because it had, I don't know, it didn't look double helix, but it had a lot of cables that were circular. Oh, that's right. It was about building bridges, I think. And triangular versus circular. And so the second pattern, the Sarsaparilla pattern, has a bunch of triangles in it, and the first pattern has these circles in it. I think I want to do the circle one with cables. So, anywho, and I scored a Knitting's My Bag, a Halloween themed bag from Lois.
That's fun.
And I think this was just like, I thought I wanted a kit, and I kind of missed them. Like, I probably could have gotten one, but it wasn't my favorite bag choice, you know, kind of thing. Like, it's like, well, if I'm gonna get a kit, I should get everything that I wanted, not just settle for the whatever's left at the time that I got there. And now I can't remember which one I was coveting. Like, there's a spider bag, an owl bag, and a cat bag, and it was probably the owl bag I wanted, and it was gone. So I bought myself a spider one, and I figured this one to me didn't read, it reads Halloween-y, but it also kind of reads like goth chick, like spiders, you know, like it doesn't have to be like, oh yes, this is Halloween, it's like jack-o'-lanterns and whatever. No, this is just kind of a really cool spider motif, so I could like carry it around like goth chick, or like I would never reread Twilight, but like, oh, I'm rereading Twilight now and I want my black and red motif. Anyway, I really like these bags, and this one is a really fun one. And of course I have my zombie bag sitting here too, and I used my bags and my zip bags and my oh snap bags, and I mean, I don't know, bag crazy. Oh, I guess while I'm mentioning bags, the 31 bag party is still going on, and it will close on Friday. So if you're seeing this after Friday the 12th, yeah, Friday the 12th, the party's probably already closed. You can go look and see if it's closed, but it'll probably be closed Friday the 12th. Thank you to everybody out there that was a Plurkster and a viewer who decided to order. It's been really fun having one of these online parties and having you guys participate. You know, I've had them locally before and had, you know, coworkers and friends order, but it's kind of neat to have people out of the blue say, hey, we don't have those parties in my neck of the woods. You know, I'd love to piggyback on yours. And so I really like the bags. They're super handy. They organize your stuff really well. And like I said, I've been holding on to an order for almost a year, right? Like, oh, I ordered this one bag and I could really use the second one, but I'll just wait for somebody to have a party. Nobody had a party. And now it's coming up on Christmas, and I'm like, well, I did kind of want to get that one as a present. You know, it's just hard to judge when you can do it. So it's like, all right, pulling the trigger. Gonna have a party before it's too late. That's all I got. I was gonna leave my present for
your coordinating present.
Coordinating present.
Where should I begin?
Yarn as she does, so it's.
I got some bags too. Let me figure out what that is. Little guy. Where'd the little guy go? Crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. There he is. So, Rista 1313, Susan, I was kidding her that I loved apples, and so she went out and looked for apple fabric for me, and I was like, I have a bazillion things of apple fabric I will never sew with, and so I sent her this apple and pear fabric, and she made it for me. Yep. And then I also sent her this whale bag, which is, feel it. It's flannel. She's like, it feels weird. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of feels different, but it feels like you could put your knitting in it and then sleep on it. Which I think Mommy Needs Yarn said that. Like, she liked flannel bags because they were nice pillows. But I love the size and the shape and the flat bottom. And she's got the nice little Girl Cave bag.
Yeah, personalized button. It's really adorable.
Yes, it is. She was asking me about placement, and I was like, that's a good place for it. I like it there. And then she put the custom order out, and it just happened to be when she was having an update. And so the little baddie one fell in my cart as well.
I love these guys.
I do too. They're adorable.
It's like picking your favorite, and this one, probably.
Yeah, I like the really big eyes. So thank you, Susan. And if you haven't checked her out, she has been featured on several other podcasts that I watch. So this is probably old news for all of you all, but I got some really cool, nice made bags.
I've definitely seen her, I think, Revelry ad at the bottom of people's threads, for sure.
Yeah. What else? I was on a BFL kick last week. I wanted me some BFL, and lo and behold, Marigold Jen had a BFL update. This is the only one that isn't BFL. This is Harvest Moon, so it's got purples and blacks and grays. And that's a 70 75% merino, 25% nylon. And these two are BFL. I just love BFL. This one is called Election Year. It's kind of got purples and pops of blue and red in it, which I believe is the point of calling it Election Year. And then this one, my husband's been bugging me to make him socks because he's got new shirts that he's ordered. And I asked him, I was like, this has kind of got purples in it. And pinks, would that be an issue? Because I didn't really notice it in the picture, but in person, you can really see the purples and pinks coming through the gray. And he's like, I've got purple and pink shirts. So I think he actually likes the fact that it's going to be like different, and it'll coordinate with all of those different shirts. Like, he won't have to be like, this only goes with. He's very stickler. I wear the same black socks with every outfit, whether or not I'm wearing a black top or not, but he's got to be matchy-matchy. He's the man that everybody had to be. I wanted everybody to wear a different suit and dress to our wedding, like in the bridal party, and he was like, no, it has to be matchy-matchy. So, if you're watching, honey, which I'm sure you're not, I love you, but the matchy-matchiness is definitely a character trait of his. And so those are going to become Jeremy socks.
I can totally see a sweater out of this. It's really pretty.
Yes, I've noticed. I've got some yarn versus zombies that is coming that is very similar. You know, like grays with colors popping out. And then I also have that everything old that is kind of grays with colors popping out. Yeah, and I think it's this time of year too, because if I look back at the stash that I added last year around this time, I was going a lot more dark.
Really pretty.
So, but Marigold Jen is on Etsy. It's Jenny Potter, or Porter. Yeah.
Porter. There's an R in there.
Yep, and it's marigoldjen.etsy.com. And I have to give her a shout out. Her BFL was the most reasonable, and I thought was some of the prettiest dyed yarn that I could find. So I think
it's a 4-ply.
And it was like $20. I mean, like, whereas other BFLs out there were like 24, hers were 20, and I may be misquoting it, but I'm almost certain that it was 20. Maybe it was the non-BFL that was 20. One of these skeins of yarn was $20.
Oh, so this one's the merino.
Yep, $20. They were all $20. I thought very reasonable for a BFL.
Cute.
Yep. Happy knitting.
Your picture.
Yeah. Don't laugh at me. It's old. It's an old picture. Also, I've been waiting for, and this has quite the tale, I ordered these 2 skeins of their zombie yarn from Bohemia Fibers, and each one has a tail. So this is, and they smell very good because I ordered sachets that came with them, so they're very fragrant. I think Max just ran away because of my fragrant yarn. This one is Nathan Nature Lover, who loved walking through local woods, and one fateful day decided to pick a mushroom and ate it and ended up killing himself, and now he walks the forest every night looking for flora and fauna. So each one has their own story.
And this is Flora. Oh, no.
And this is Eugene the Nerd, and he fell on a protractor.
Oh, no.
And it went straight through his heart. And now spends his night learning useless but interesting trivia.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
My father-in-law is Eugene.
Yep.
Was.
And so this one makes my heart sing. You didn't get to, it was just random, like, of the draw. So I like the Nature Lover one, and this one is going to be the abalone, one of the abalone prizes.
So you get Eugene the Nerd.
Yep, Eugene the Nerd. Contacted her after I bought it because it was unclear to me whether or not these were dyed to order. I kind of thought they were, but there was no communication to that end. And then she said it was shipped well before it was shipped. So I don't know if that's a one-off for Bohemia Fibers, but just a heads up. Contacted her. She said it shipped September 28th, and it didn't get here till today. So I don't think it was shipped September 28th or 27th or whatever it was. I think that once I bugged her that, you said you shipped this to 28th, then it actually got into the mail. So maybe a little unreliable, but the yarn was very pretty, and the concept behind the zombie yarn, very cool. And these, again, were $20 a skein for Superwash 2-ply. merino, 400 yards. Very fragrant if you get sachets with it. Yes, so I got sachets. I haven't opened them up and done anything. They're fragrant enough in the plastic bag. And I can smell them even though I'm sick. What else? I could probably wait on stuff. I don't know if I'm going to have a lot more up here or not. We had another D-stash that we partaketh in. Amy found this and said, 7 skeins of plucking knitter. You want to share this with me? So we got Olive Bar, 7 skeins of it from the Knit Psycho D-stash. This is her sport weight MCN, but it's a 75-25. So 75 merino, 20% cashmere, 5% nylon. So we'll make a very nice garment of some sort.
So I only have 3.
You can still make a garment. What you think?
Oh yeah.
I can give you my extras if I end up using mine first.
Okay. She probably will.
I don't know. Did you see this influx of yarn? It's pretty insane if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, yeah, that's a big influx of yarn.
Oh, I was more or less thinking like how all of the things that I wanted to start because of my stash / pattern stash. I've decided that the next thing I cast on sweater wise is going to be from sweater or shawl wise is definitely going to come from my gifted patterns. And I'm going to go oldest to newest, so I can't deviate. And I may only do that just for 1 or 2, right? And then go back to just whatever strikes my fancy. But I mean, at one point I loved these patterns. I just can't get myself to cast them on, right? So I figure after I finish a few sweaters, because until I cast this one off, I had 4 sweaters on the needles. That's a lot. That's probably not recommended. So I want to get my shawl off the needles, and I want to get another sweater, probably the abalone, because it's going to be the easiest. It's got the thickest yarn and it's the shortest sleeves and all that stuff, so I should be able to get that.
I think my next ones are going to be driven by the fact that I have so many fingering weight sweater quantities that I need to do a fingering weight. So like that bin is getting full.
Yeah.
So it's like empty. I need to use some of that.
And the funny thing is that a sweater is only like 3 skeins out, you know, like 3 or 4 skeins leave, and you're like, oh crap. That's not that much.
But my Madelinetosh bin, you know, with me finishing that Dragonflight, it's getting smaller. I haven't been putting in as much as I'm taking out.
Yeah.
So my Madelinetosh out this year has been a lot greater than my Madelinetosh in. But now I'm just buying indie yarn.
Yeah.
in sweater quantities, and yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be really tough. I've seen a lot of updates, and I've been really excited. Like, I was blown away. I actually won something. So, I
got that coming too. I got Star Trekky.
Oh, you did? That's right, for your husband. I was listening to 90% Knitting, and I had entered one of her quarterly drawings out on her, not the 90% Knitting boards, but the Fiber Nymph dye work boards. So if you finish anything with her yarn, you post it out there once a quarter. She draws, and you get a $25 gift certificate. I won. So my Doctor Who socks won me a $25 gift certificate to order something else.
Cool.
So I have been
debating. Karma. That's karma right there.
That's true. I gave those socks away in a very
generous. You got Nyan Cat for somebody else and got that in return. And
yep. Yeah, and I even, the day I picked up Star Trekky, I picked up a custom order spot, and then I let that one go to somebody. Because I was like, I already got Star Trekkie. Why am I being selfish? And somebody was very bummed about missing out on Fruit Loops. So I gave them my custom order spot. You know, I wrote Lisa and said, give this to her. She really wants it. And Lisa was very cool about it. Just said, yep, sounds good. It's yours to give away. So, but yeah, my $25. Can't decide whether I want to get a sweater, you know, a heavily discounted sweater's worth of like Bounce Base or something, or maybe I want to try some of her other bases. Like, I don't think I've tried any of the cashmere bases.
If you want to feel it, I've got the SSK one.
Okay. Okay. And then there's also like how many people are really wanting some of these stripes, and I'm like, I've been so lucky, I've gotten everything I've wanted. So I could get Fruit Loops, but I'm okay. I got Star Trekkie, I got Doctor Who, TARDIS, and I got Nyan Cat. And Nyan Cat and Star Trekkie, I felt like I got those like right as soon as they came out. Like, I was like one of the first few people to get them. Although I'm not one of the first few people to knit them. I was slacking. I totally missed out on the knitting the Star Trekkie. But again, I don't know. I felt very like, I don't know, fortunate / ninja-y, right? Like, I was just at the right place, the right time, and I picked up what I needed. So having this gift certificate, it's like, okay, so now I need to go outside of what I normally would like stock for.
Yeah, I need to use mine. You know how Boutros Babe and Froggy Monkey were doing the Horde down? I have Fiber Nymph, and I've never knit with any of it. So I need to, that should be like my next thing on the needles. Use Fiber Nymph yarn. I got custom order 2 spots and used it for a gradient and something else.
Pretty gradients.
Yeah. So anyway, we've blathered on for almost an hour now.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, we had lots of enabling. So
that's true.
We got to make up for Diane's lack of it. Indie Tires, do not despair. Megan and Amy to the rescue. But anyway.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Ufta.